Welcome back. Well, we're finally beginning with Visual Studio, and before we actually create any programs or anything, we want to create a folder where we're going to put everything for this class. So I'm going to right click on my desktop. You can put the folder anywhere you like, but for convenience I'm going to put mine on my desktop. I'm going to choose New Folder. I'm going to call it Greg Programming. You can call it whatever you like. Now that we have our folder, we're going to start Visual C#, and you should already have a shortcut on your desktop to help you along. If you don't, just check the installation instructions that I gave you on the DVD, and for convenience you might want to put a shortcut there on your desktop. Double click on the shortcut and Visual Studio will come up. Now the first time you run Visual Studio, especially if it's been a while since you last ran it, it'll take a little bit longer to come up. And by default there's this start page, the screen thing that you see here with all the writing and stuff. And Microsoft created this so to make it easier for newbies to get into programming. And here on the bottom left it has a bunch of tutorials and frequently asked questions and links and stuff that might help you along. So feel free to explore that. I won't cover that. I'll just dive straight into the programming. Then later, if you feel the start page is really annoying for you to see it every time you start Visual Studio, I will show you how to disable that in the options. For now, we'll just kill it right here. Not the Visual Studio close button, but the start page close button. So the Visual Studio environment is probably looks a lot like a lot of Windows applications. It has a menu up top here, and it has really two main areas. This big gray area that is used for you to view the files that are part of your project, and this is where you're going to do most of your editing. On the right side, you can actually view a variety of things, and one thing that you can see here, let me turn on my magnifier. The magnifier is a program I wrote to help me zoom in on various areas so you can see this better in videos and on the projector in class. The right side is reserved for viewing certain aspects of your project, and one aspect is the Solution Explorer, which lets you see the files in your project. So let's go ahead and create a project, and you'll see what I mean. Let's go to the menus on the top left, and we're going to go to File and New Project. And now we have several kinds of projects that we can run, that we can create. That we can create. And the one that we're going to focus on is this Windows Forms application on the left. I'm not going to explore the other ones, at least I'm not planning to. So we're going to click on that. And then down here for the name, I'm going to change their default to Hello World. And you do not want to have spaces in your project names. So if you want to differentiate between words, just start each word with a capital letter. That's called camel casing, by the way. We'll talk about that later. So you got your name. Click OK. And now Visual Studio will take a little while to create the project. And as you can see now, we're looking at, keep the magnifier up. And on the left pane of the Visual Studio app, we're looking at form1.cs, and then it says in brackets design. And if you look down, you see here that there's this nice little Windows window. This is our form. This is the window that will pop up when we run the program. Visual Studio has created this for us without us doing anything. Now this is more like this is not the actual program running, but this is like a visual representation of what the program is going to look like when it's running. And on the right side, we have the solution view, and it shows us all the files in this project. And one file of note is form1.cs. This is the one that was defaultly created for us when Visual Studio created this project. Now I don't like just form1, not very descriptive, so I'm going to change the name of this file. I'm going to simply click on it, and I'm going to rename it to hello.cs. And it might say you're renaming a file. Would you like to perform a rename? Yes. Now all I've done is change the name of the file. Now let's look at this form. Maybe we can change. Maybe we can change the title of the form so it doesn't just say form 1. Maybe it can actually say hello world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the menus. I'm going to select View and Properties window. Now on the right side, we're going to see the Properties window. Now what properties are, remember I was in a previous lecture I was talking about attributes and behaviors and stuff. Properties are attributes of this form. And this form has a name, which is up top here. And its name is hello. The name is okay, but I want to rename. I want to have all my forms have a name that begins with FRM for form. So I'm going to rename it to FRM capital H hello. Like that. Push enter.